Hello, today I'm going to be doing tutorial number 2 in chapter 2 of the CADArtifex Fusion 360 textbook. So we're going to start by looking at this image. This is what we're going to be basing off of. So we are going to be creating this in Fusion 360. Note the orientation and the numbers there. We're supposed to use this using the line tool, and then if you click, you can continue to make arcs. So let's go ahead and jump into Fusion 360. So here I have an untitled project. I will save this in my CAD/CAM class. I have a tutorial file folder in chapter 2. I will call this chapter 2 TU for tutorial number 2. So if you're doing test drives, do somewhat of a similar naming scheme. It keeps it easier for me to grade later. So I will hit save, and then I'll get started modeling. So I'll create a sketch, and I'm going to click on this front face because that is the way the model in the picture seems to be oriented. So click that and then get started. So I'm going to be using the line tool today. There are other ways that you can do these arcs, but the point of this exercise is to try and practice the arc feature of a line. So when you create a line, I'll start at the origin. That's where you should always start. Click at the origin, and I'm going to come to the left. That's a little bit arbitrary, but that's what I'm going to do. Mouse cord is actually move things here. So, okay, 100. Hit enter. Well, actually, I'll just type 100 and then click. And when I click and hold, I get this arc. Okay, so when you create a line, you click and hold, your next one is going to be an arc that is tangent to your previous line. So if I go here and click and then go here, well, actually, that one isn't necessarily tangent, but your one after you do a line and then you click is going to be an arc tangent to that. So I'm going to hit Control Z to undo back to here. Or actually, I'll start from scratch. So I'm going to hit L for line, or I can click up here, L for line, click on the origin, come over, type 100, and then click and hold, and come up and create an arc. I could now do a radius, but it's going to, if I hit enter, it finishes it right there and then. It didn't actually put that in there, but I can add the dimension later. So I'll create another line. This one is going to be 100. I'm not going to put in the dimension for the moment. This one, because it doesn't have it in the drawing. This one has 15 millimeters. So I'm going to type that and then come over and around. So if I clicked and held to keep going around and then continue, I just click once and then click once, and that's that. So I hit escape to cancel out of the line tool, bring that measurement down there. Okay, we're missing several measurements. Things are blue, so we need to fix those. Okay, if I hit D or grab the sketch dimension tool up here, I can click on that arc and I can type 40, hit enter. So when you click on an arc or click on anything for the dimension tool, you click once, then you bring your mouse and you click where you want that dimension to sit, right? So this one's going to be 25. So hit enter, and what's left? Okay, we still have some stuff that's blue. Why is it blue? Okay, see, that is allowing it to not be vertical. So I have two options here. I could either make this be vertical, or I could make it be perpendicular to your other lines. So I'm going to make it vertical. This one now, though, has something different going on. It's that these legs weren't defined as 100. Since they aren't shown on the drawing to be 100, I'm going to do it a little bit differently. So I make sure that line's not selected anymore. I'm going to set this. I'm going to grab the equal constraint up here. Notice this one is equal. I'm going to click on that. And then I'm going to click on that line, and I'm going to click on the one that is dimensioned, the 100. Okay, so what happened? Well, that can change. Okay, so there's two ways I could fix this one. I could make this line collinear with that line. I could make this length be equal, because if this moves, then that changes. Or I could make these points sit on top of each other. And if I just drag it to there, it will do that. But I'll hit undo just to show you the other options. I could select that and then hit coincident and select that one. That would do it. Or if I hit undo, I could make that one collinear with this one. So you'll get more into constraints in the next chapter, but that's just a little bit about constraints. You can kind of get everything to snap in so it's black, it's all even. Or I think I already said this, but you can make that equal to that, and that snaps them all in place. So there's different ways to fully constrain your shapes, but it's good to practice getting them all fully constrained. Now the picture shows this as 15, but with everything else constrained like it is, with that radius constrained, it's going to be a driven dimension because that would be too many constraints. So I just go ahead and say, okay, create driven, but it's going to be in parentheses here because if I change something else, that will automatically update because that's a driven constraint. It's controlled by the other constraints. But I can't update this one because it's just driven by the other dimensions. So hope that makes sense. If you have any questions, let me know. So with that, I'm finished with my sketch. That's all you have to do for that exercise. I will walk through, because I kind of glossed over it in the previous tutorial, I will walk through how to, well, again, make sure you've saved it with that name structure. So if you're doing a test drive, make sure it's TD and then which test drive it is. So chapter 2, TD1, TD2 for test drive. And then, so you can finish the sketch, save it, and then you can export the file for upload into Google Classroom. So I can just click export, save it like that, and then upload it in Google Classroom. That said, we can also extrude this, though that's not part of this exercise, but if you want it to look, and just to confirm that it looks like the picture, we can see that it does look like that when we extrude it, so maybe about 40 millimeters. So that's a step that we'll cover in the next chapter or two, but it's kind of handy to just visualize it right now. So again, really all you need is this sketch. That's what we need for this, for all the test drives in chapter 2. Okay, thanks.